Yes. This is Seer Grant. Yes, I'm the Seer Grant who did the lecture on androgyny on Brother Panic's channel. And you can see that lecture. It's still up on Brother Panic's channel, on his YouTube channel, Occult Lectures. I wanted to come through, and this is my first time making a video on this channel. You know, I had another YouTube channel, but that got terminated. YouTube and I just couldn't see eye to eye on things, so that's fine. You know, that's fine. But I wanted to come through on my new channel, excuse me, and I wanted to talk about homosexuality. I really wanted to just talk about how being called a homosexual, especially a black homosexual, has so much negativity attached to it. And I want to kind of break down, you know, what the word gay really means. Because we have been, I'm sorry, my allergies are bothering me, but we have been conditioned as gay black men and women, but particularly as gay black men, whether you're a drag queen or not. You know, I dress in drag too, you know, that's no secret. But we have been conditioned to believe that we are worthless, that we are not deserving of love, and that we just simply serve no purpose. And I am here to just basically not debate anyone, because let me say this from the get-go, okay? Don't let the sweet voice fool you. You see that blackness and darkness? Most of you niggas are afraid of the dark any motherfucking way. I'm not, okay? I'm not afraid of the dark. You see how black it is on my screen? That's what I sleep in every night. Okay? That's what I sleep in. So I'm not afraid of the dark. But I know a lot of niggas are. Surface level conscious niggas is what I call them. I'm not talking about anybody, excuse me, in particular on YouTube. I'm just saying in general. Surface level conscious niggas, meaning conscious dudes who don't go beyond Hotep. Okay? Or that mentality. First of all, the word gay. Well, let me go back to this for a minute. So what I was going to say is this. I don't give a fuck about anybody's opinions. I don't give a fuck about how anybody may feel about me or any of that bullshit. I am beyond that. So save your criticism, save your opinions about what you feel about LGBT and all that shit. Save that for your mother and your father. Okay? And whoever the fuck else cares to listen to you. Because I won't listen to you. So like I said, don't think because I'm gay that you can target me. Okay? Don't think that. Because many people have tried that. And they've gotten fucked up by unknown forces in the process. And so have people that they loved. So with that being said, this is my perspective. If you don't fucking like it, you know where to go. But I'm not the one you want to fuck with. And let me just say that before I get started on this bullshit, because you know a lot of times, you know, niggas, you know, in their psychosis, male and female, they get it misconstrued, and they get shit fucked up, and they get shit mixed up. And I'm just letting you know, I don't give a fuck about nobody not liking me, or liking me being gay, or whatever the case may be. So now that I got that out of the way, let's get into what I wanted to talk about. First of all, the word gay, what does that word really mean? Before that word was turned into a slang to describe a homosexual person, The word gay meant happy. And when I think of happiness, or when I think of a person that's happy, I think of someone that is in harmonic balance with themselves and with their own universe, meaning their own mind, subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. So when I think of a happy person, I think of someone who is in harmonic balance. But the word gay has been turned into a negative word to describe a homosexual person. But the etymology, the origins, the genesis, whatever you want to call it, of that word, it meant happiness. It meant someone that was expressing their happiness. Okay? But that's not how that word is anymore. So what happened was, this is what happened. Outsiders came into a land full of melanated people, and they saw with their own eyes, although they could not explain it, they saw how the feminine energy was being revered. The black woman is the template of the divine feminine energy here on earth. The black woman is the most important figure on this planet. They saw how the black woman was being revered, and they also came in contact with men, black men, who now we would call androgynous. We would describe them as being androgynous. And, that means they looked like the opposite sex, basically. You know what I'm saying? So these outsiders, they had, they didn't know how to, interpret that, because, from what they know and what they knew about gender, men were not supposed to be smiling all the time, being happy, aka being gay. So they came in contact with men that were smiling all the time, probably men that were picking flowers and really in tune with nature and doing things that these outsiders considered to be outside of the norm for men, because their idea of gender roles did not, it didn't coincide with what they saw when they came in contact with, black people. So, they were, this was an aversion to them. But at the same time, as with most, ignorant, blind people, at the same time, they were attracted to these men as well. These men were very, very beautiful and very, very attractive looking men. And see, even in the Bible, when they destroyed, when the fictitious story of Sodom and Gomorrah, that story, yes, that one. When Lot was warned by God to leave Sodom and Gomorrah, there were two angels that came down to warn him. And we all know that angels, from physical, descriptions of angels, when they've taken on human form, they looked androgynous, meaning they had no gender. They had no gender. So these angels warned Lot to get his family out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the men of Sodom, they wanted to have sex with these beautiful looking men. Well, that is the same, concept. That's the same idea that I'm talking about in regards to when the outsiders came into contact with melanated people. They saw these beautiful men. They wanted to have sex with them, but they also had an aversion towards them, because to them, that was outside of their norm and their understanding of gender roles. They didn't understand that. And at this point in time, while there was homosexuality in ancient Africa, no matter what you niggas say, but at this point in time, homosexuality had nothing to do with sex. It had nothing to do with sex. It's a full moon tonight. I'm really channeling this energy. It feels good too. but it had nothing to do with sex. It became about it became more about sex as it was tainted by outsiders. What we call homosexuality was really something called homospirituality. Now, it wasn't called that literally. I'm just calling it that to give people an understanding of what homosexuality really represented. Homosexuality, aka homospirituality, represented you taking a deep spiritual journey within you. Most gurus, most stories about ancient gurus, including the fictitious character of Jesus, there are stories and backstories about how these people, took these spiritual journeys within themselves. And see, what would happen a lot of times, and I'm not applying this to these, well-known fictitious gurus. I'm talking about what would happen in general to anyone when you would take these spiritual journeys within yourself. Once you came out of that, going into the dark recesses of your subconscious mind, unlocking the secrets in the deepest and the darkest places of your subconscious mind, when you would come out of these spiritual journeys, you would realize that, gender did not determine how much you loved a person. And sometimes there was an intimacy there, but it wasn't necessarily based upon sex. Did sex happen between people of the same sex? Of course it did. Of course it did. If they were attracted to each other. This is where asexuality comes into play too. There are people who say that they're not attracted to either gender. Again, unconsciously, they may be taking a spiritual journey within themselves, and they may come to a realization that they don't really find either gender. Well, I'm not going to say they don't find it attractive, but they're not they're not attracted to either gender. They're not attracted to either gender. That's where asexuality comes into play as well. They take those spiritual journeys within them and they realize that they've moved beyond gender because they've become one within themselves. Androgyny. So asexuality is also part of androgyny. They take those spiritual journeys within themselves too. And again, let me say it again. They move beyond being attracted to, either gender because they have found that androgyny, on another level within themselves. Asexuality is nothing more than another level of androgyny. That's it. That's all it is. Homospirituality is about taking that, and this connects to androgyny too. It's about having a love affair with yourself. That's what homosexuality was really about. AKA homospirituality is what I like to call it. It was about having a love affair with yourself, getting to know you. And like I said, with asexuality, a lot of people, after they came out of these, deep, journeys within themselves, and they rejoined the physical, a lot of times what would happen is they would find that they were not attracted to either sex, or they would find they were attracted to both, or they would find that they were attracted to the same sex based upon love and frequency and compassion. So why does homosexuality, seem to be so rampant these days? Well, it's a few things. It's a few things. A lot of people say that there is a gay agenda. Honey, let me tell you something. Let me just say this. There probably is one, okay? But there are not a lot of gay people. The reason I use the word rampant is because people believe that homosexuality is rampant. And maybe, it is in certain areas, but let me tell you why it's rampant. If it is, let me tell you why. Homosexuality while people have labeled it as a mental disorder and all these other things, and maybe they're right. And I am a gay, feminine male who likes to, cross-dress. Maybe they're right. Maybe it is a mental disorder on a physical level. But see, what people really don't, who claim to be spiritualists, who claim to be cosmic scientists, and occultists, what they fail to realize is that there's a spiritual aspect to why this is happening. And I did, on Brother Panic's channel, I did a lecture and I spoke about that in great detail. But basically, what's happening is there's too much masculine energy on the planet. So what's happening as a result of that, as a result of there being too much masculine energy on the planet, the feminine energy has to become more aggressive. Feminine energy is more aggressive. As a matter of fact, if you ask anyone, female dogs, bitches, yes, bitches, female dogs are oftentimes more aggressive in defending the family that they live with. Okay? And I'm not trying to compare feminine energy to a dog, but what I'm saying is that feminine energy, when it has to be, is more aggressive. Have you ever heard the saying, never mess with a mother bear and her cubs? That's because a mother will kill you for messing with her children. She will kill you. Okay? Because the divine feminine energy has been abused, and that's through the physical manifestation of the black woman. The black woman has been abused on this planet, has been used and degraded and denigrated. Malcolm X said it best. The black woman is the most abused on this planet. Okay? And because of that, it has suppressed the feminine energy. So let me channel that energy a little bit and just humanize it a little bit to let you know how the feminine energy may react to that. The feminine energy may go, nigga, no. You not gonna try to shut me up, okay? You ain't gonna try to shut me up. I'm gonna show you who really is in fucking charge, okay? Okay, that's how shit may be going, okay? So what happens is, because males mainly have this imbalance, the feminine energy channels through males more aggressively because of this imbalance on this planet. So people like me, we come down and we say, wait a minute, no. You can't keep suppressing the feminine energy that way, because the planet is not in balance. It's not in balance. So we come down and we try to heal this imbalance. But a lot of us as black homosexuals, we get, myself included, we get distracted when we get down in these bodies, because we get in these human bodies and we forget. And it takes people like Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmett and all of these enlightened gods, it takes them to really point us in the right direction in what we should be doing. And we come down and we forget and we get caught up in the madness of this planet, again, myself included. And we forget that we are down here to help heal an imbalance. Not get married like heterosexual people. I'm sorry. No, not get married. We can have relationships and stuff like that, but we're not down here to get married and have everyone love us. We're the oracles. Homosexuals, we're the oracles. We're the gatekeepers in the spiritual realm. We are the gatekeepers. We're the watchers. We make sure that things stay in its place. And we make sure everyone gets in who is supposed to. That's what we do. We're the watchers, we're the guardians, whatever you want to call it. We are the guardians of the divine feminine energy. And that is why homosexual men, that is why we have a proclivity to have really close relationships with females, because we're guarding that divine feminine energy. We're just playing that out in the physical. That's why we get along with most females, most of the time. Most females. Some of y'all, I can't stand you. And I'm not going to lie about that. Because some of y'all, your homophobia is just absolutely fucking insane. I can understand a man being homophobic, but a female homophobic, especially a black female homophobic, girl, bye. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. But that's another story. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, most homophobes are black men, in my opinion, and white men. Okay, and men in general. And because of insane homophobia and just distractions, when we get down here to do these tasks that we're supposed to do as healers and as gatekeepers, we get distracted and we get caught up into wanting to be married and, wanting to, totally invest everything in materialism, and one thing about us as gay people, we can definitely make some money. We definitely know how to make money. We are creative people, especially gay black people. We are very creative people. What happens is a lot of times our gifts get suppressed because, again, we're taught through repetition. We're taught through trauma. We're taught through reinforced mind control that we're unworthy and, no one will love us. And sometimes that can suppress the gifts that are inside of us, And it suppresses the power that we really have within us. It suppresses the power that we possess within us as gay people. I really don't like the word homosexual. Gay means harmonic balance. Being in harmonic balance. That is a person that is happy. When I think of a person that is happy, I think of someone who's in harmonic balance. So what happens is when we come into this realm, we forget, we get distracted, and then we start getting suppressed. This is why there's a lot of, suicide a lot of times among gay people, because, what's really happening, I'm not going to say there, but what's really happening is that energy that we possess, that power that we possess, they want to feed off of that. And when I say they, I'm talking about the people, who have the agendas. They want to feed off of that. And that includes the white LGBT agenda. They feed off of black gay people, and they feed off of our suffering. They feed off of that. And they get us to co-sign with this. When I see any black man talking about, I support you for being gay. Listen, nigga, I don't need you to support me for being gay. Just support me as a fucking person. If you want to support me as a person. You don't have to support me in who I want to sleep with in my bedroom. I don't need any support system for that. Just live and let live. That's the way this world should be. But their survival is predicated upon our thinking that we are beneath everyone and that we, don't have any power and that we don't have any worth. Same thing they do to black women. Same thing they do to black women. Same thing. You know, they feed off of black women's suffering. They feed off of the black woman's tears and energy, especially a lot of these churches. They do. They absolutely do. But in this case, when it comes to gay black people, you know, what we really need to start doing, and I don't mean come together in a kumbaya moment. I mean, consciously, we need to start merging our conscious in alignment so we can take back our power and make shit really happen, not just on a physical level, not just doing, you know, a hair show or a fashion show, but I'm talking about on a fucking spiritual level. We need to take back our power because we kick motherfucking ass in the motherfucking spiritual realm. Okay? We are powerful beings in the spiritual realm. And a lot of these deities, okay, a lot of these deities and even some of these demonic forces are androgynous. Okay? They are androgynous. Look at Pazuzu, the demon from The Exorcist. Look at Pazuzu's penis. There's a snake crawling around his penis. And if you look at the caduceus, which is the symbol of androgyny, the divine union between the masculine and the feminine energy, no more needs to be said. Look at Pazuzu's penis. We have powers at our disposal for all of these homophobes and all of these people that want to target us. That's why I say I don't talk too much because I'm not trying to seem as though that I got an ego problem, because I don't. You know, I don't talk too much about the shit that I'm tapping into. But like I said, look up Pazuzu. Look at his penis. There's a snake crawling around his penis. Then look at the caduceus. And then you tell me. Okay? Dembala, that's another androgynous being. And Dembala came to me and showed me that he was androgynous. That's also another energy that's a part of me. Dembala. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. And we can tap into these energies and they are protective. La Santa Sima Mamawete. That bitch right there. And I say that with respect. That bitch. Okay? That bitch. That's me. That is me. All motherfucking day. Okay? I have done some pretty interesting things with that energy, okay? La Santa Sima Mamawete, the protector of homosexuals. So if you are a gay person out there and, you know, you're in the conscious community and, you know, whatever the case may be, these are deities that you can work with, and these are energies you can work with. Pazuzu, La Santa Sima Mamawete, or La Santa Sima Merte, rather, Dembala. You can work with these motherfucking energies. You can work with them. They're on our side. Even when everybody else in the physical world is coming for us. They're on our motherfucking side. But because we've been taught for so long, even in the so-called conscious community, with the exception of Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic, with the exception of those two enlightened, you know, it's not too many, and I don't worship them, you know, or anything like that, but I am very humbled and appreciative to Brother Panic for bringing me on his forum and his platform to speak. I was really surprised when he did that. I'm still amazed by that. I'm still pinching myself because I was really surprised that, you know, not because I thought that he was a homophobe or anything like that. I never thought that about Brother Panic. I don't care how many times he dropped the F word. I never had those thoughts about him. I always thought that he was a cool, enlightened God. That's how I always looked at him, where I could go to get knowledge from. You know, I think of him as a reminder of someone to just point me, not a reminder of someone, but someone to point me in the right direction. That's how I look at Brother Panic, you know, and I will always be humbled and have gratitude and appreciation for him and Mr. Hemmett, because They gave me my power back. They gave me my power back. I may still have some things I need to do. I still got a long way to go. But they got my attention. They definitely got my attention. You know? But these motherfucking other niggas out here who want to do black gay people in particular harm, to you motherfuckers, we know. We know. And we know what to do for you. We know what to do for you. And I'm going to tell you something. To a lot of you gay guys out there, black gay guys, shit, or really truthfully gay guys in general, truth be told. Because I know it's not any easier for white gay people either. You know, they have white privilege. But, you know, truth be told, they hate us all the fucking same. But my message is mainly for gay black people, especially if you're dealing with these homophobes in the black community or any community that are fucking with you, get at me. GrantSeer@yahoo.com. Get at me. Okay? Get at me. Get at me. Let me know. Okay? GrantSeer, GrantSeer @yahoo.com. Get at me. Get at me. Because we have to start, you know, because the police ain't going to do shit. Police not going to really do shit. They don't give a fuck about us either. We have to start taking care of these motherfuckers magically. We have to start tapping into our energy and into our power and making motherfucking shit happen. Okay? The white LGBT community, that's for them. You know? That's for them. We need, as gay black people, we need to rise up spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be a preacher, but I'm just telling you, there are ways you can handle these motherfucking niggas that come at you with that homophobe shit. There are ways you can handle them. You don't have to live through that bullshit. Even motherfuckers in your family. There are things you can do to handle those motherfuckers. Trust me. La Santa Sima Muerte is one of the main protectors of gays, transgender, whatever. Okay? You don't have to live in that kind of torment anymore. You don't. You really, really don't. So get at me. GrantSeer@yahoo.com. If you're having any issues with homophobes fucking with you and shit like that, get at me. I'll tell you what you need to do. Absolutely. I will tell you what you need to do. You pay me for a consultation, and I will tell you what you need to do. And my consultations are not that much money. Okay? Because I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to get rich. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for a spiritual reason. This is why I am here. Because for so many years, I really went through a lot dealing with, homophobe. Now when homophobic motherfuckers come through to me, I say some shit to them, and them motherfuckers, they stay mad at me for motherfucking months and years, and they never get over it. And that is exactly my goal. When I see that I've said something to somebody, then I've attached to them with my words. I'm the Murdy twins. I'm all these motherfucking deities. I'm one of the Murdy twins. Tefnu and Shu, to be exact. I'm the Murdy twins. So I'm like all these fucking deities. One day you may catch me, I'm Tefnu. One day you may catch me, I'm Shu. One day you may catch me, I'm Isis. One day you may catch me, I'm a destructive God. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Murdy twins. So, that's a accumulation of many deities connected together. One day you may catch me, I'm La Santa Sima Muerte. And let's be clear. All of these deities have a dark side and have a sinister side. And that is what I like to work with. I'm a sinister. Let me tell you something. I am a sin. I've seen it in the spiritual realm. I didn't know I was that motherfucking sinister, but I'm a motherfucking queen, honey. I am very sinister for those people who fuck with me. I'm very sinister, and I don't have any conscience when going after my enemies. And that is how we need to be as gay black people. We need to go after those people who come after us like that. We need to go after them with a vengeance and no fucking mercy. Okay? Now, I know some people may say that seems petty, but look, if you are down here trying to do your job and study and, do your spiritual work and do all that shit, you don't have time for niggas to be fucking with you. And I say, go at them with a vengeance. That's all I'm going to say on that. Go at them with a vengeance. I don't give a fuck what nobody think. Go at them motherfuckers with a vengeance. But that's basically really all I wanted to say. I know I said a lot. I hope YouTube allows me to post this video. YouTube is so fucking petty lately. This institution called YouTube is really they some petty motherfuckers for real. They really are. But for right now, that's all I really have to say. I'm going to come back and talk about something else in regards to the reincarnation trap. Whenever I hear Brother Panic speak, he always sparks other ideas in my head that I can put in my own words without copying off of him. You understand what I'm saying? But that's basically all I had to say for right now. But we don't have to before I go, we don't have to keep suffering all of this homophobia and attacks and stuff like that. There are things you can do to shut these motherfuckers down and to get them the fuck away from you. You may not be able to shut them up all the way, but you can definitely shut them down. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I am saying? We don't have to tolerate that. We do not have to tolerate that. There are so many motherfucking deities at our disposal that we can have direct access to. Okay? Again, La Santissima Muerte, protector of gay people, Dembala, all these motherfucking Pazuzu. That tripped me out when I was researching Pazuzu, the demon Pazuzu. That's the same demon from The Exorcist. When I was researching that demon and I saw that snake crawling on his penis, I said, you ain't got to say no more. That's also the Mothman. People keep calling that thing that they were seeing flying around at one time. Remember the Mothman prophecies? That's Pazuzu. That's Pazuzu. And let me say this too. That's another reason why they attack the subconscious mind of gay people and black people in general. But this is another reason why the subconscious mind is attacked, because, these monsters, they come out of us because we are the monsters and the boogeymans in the closet and shit like that. That's us. I've tormented so many people in the astral realm and shit like that. I've seen the shit that I've done. I've seen it. This isn't me fantasizing about it. I'm the boogeyman in a motherfucking closet scaring motherfucking people. That's me. I've seen myself do it. I've scared and tormented so many it's crazy the shit that I've seen. I don't even want to get into all of it, But Pazuzu, like I said, that's another one. You look at the snake crawling around his penis. That's androgyny. That's a representation of androgyny. And that's ultimately a representation of the energy that we as gay people represent on this planet and that we are channeling on this planet. Androgyny. It's just that when we come down in these human physical bodies, things kind of get a little bit more complicated, I should say, They get a little bit more complicated. But that's how it goes when you incarnate in these bodies. you know? So we are very powerful as gay black people. You know, we're very powerful, and that's because a lot of us don't recognize it, but I recognize it for myself. But a lot of us don't recognize it, but we have the protection of the divine feminine energy around us. We have that protection around us. The divine feminine energy is going to make sure that we are okay. Even when it seems as though that things may not be going the way you want them to, we are going to always have that divine feminine energy protection around us. The Spirit showed me that too. You know, there was something else I want to talk about. You know, now that I talked about that, you know, I hear a lot of people talking about hexes and curses and stuff like that. First of all, let me say this. People can direct negativity towards you, and they can invade your life with negativity. And the point of a curse or a hex is to destabilize your harmonic balance, you know. So just keep that in mind. Now with me, I make up my own spiritual bath. You know, I don't sell it. It's just something that I make up for myself. And I don't like saying hexes and curses because that just sounds so old and ancient and, you know, superstitious, what's the word I'm looking for? Laced with superstition. Okay. Laced with superstition. I don't really like saying that. You know, I like to use the word unuseful energy because we accumulate a lot of energy from different people that we interact with at our jobs or where we live, the space that we live in, you know, depending upon who lived there, you know. So, you know, you always have to take your spiritual baths. Like I say, I have my own. I don't sell it. You know, it's not something that's for sale. I have my own. I took a spiritual bath tonight. Herbs that I put together, 7 herbs I put together, and I just take my spiritual bath, and it's amazing how it changes the energy around you. You know, and it gets rid of unuseful, wasteful energy that you don't need, and it balances, you know, the energy that's there inside of you. Now, a lot of people they want to banish all negative energy. But when I think about that, is that really a good idea? Because, you know, from what the spirits tell me, balance is important in everything. Balance is important. So I would rather just have the negative energy balanced with the positive energy. Because negative energy serves a purpose too. Remember, in the occult, all energy is useful. It just depends on if you have the knowledge on how to use it. Because I like to use negative energy. I love directing negative energy towards people who fuck with me. Okay? I love to do that. I remember after my soulmate died, there was a person who I found out was responsible or who helped him in his death. Let's just say that. I directed so much negativity I didn't even know. I was furious. But information started coming to me from different people. You know, I mean, and the people that were giving me this information, I knew it had to be spiritually motivated, that this information was getting to me. I found out that this person who had helped and aided him in his death, basically, that this person got robbed. This person ended up sick, begging people for money and all kinds of things. And that was because I was direct. I did not need to know this person's name. I did not need to know this person's address. I did not need to light a candle for this person. I did not need to have a picture or a personal object of that person. I just simply used my mind and directed that negativity towards that bitch. Okay? That's exactly what I did. I directed that negativity towards that bitch for what she did because because that was my soulmate. Okay? And I was furious when he died. Because there was a whole lot of shit going on that I don't want to get into because of, who he was, whatever the case may be. But I directed a lot of negativity towards her. I did. And I found out somebody had robbed her. Somebody had robbed her at gunpoint. Then I found out she was not doing too well health-wise. Then I found out that she was begging people for money. I threw all kinds of shit at her. And I don't even know this person's name. I don't even know this person's name. So that is why I say sometimes it is good to have negativity as well. Because you can use that as a weapon against those people, that you think deserves to get that work. And she deserved to get that motherfucking work. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I think that's all I really have to say. This video was 46 minutes. I think that's all I really have to say. But, I just wanted to come through and say that. If I think of anything else, I'll come back through. But for right now, I think that's about it. So, namaste. Hotep. Arrivederci. Adios. Abiento. Until next time. Bye.